Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race. We're going to get right into racing right off the bat here as the AA racers out on to the London course right now. I am trying to get social media integrations up and running, and I will also have your chat over at Twitch and Mixer. We are not on Facebook today. We had a hiccup, it looks like, and it is not going to be able to get up and running today. If you want to interact with the broadcast, the best way to do so is to jump on to Twitter and let us know what you think by sending us a little tweet at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live. I can give you guys some examples of that in just a moment. But let's get into some of the racing action here as we do see it. The A's have established a break on the front end of the course right from the get-go here. As we can see, we do have M. Burton from the TFC here starting to lead things out a little bit toward the front. Now, what's interesting to me is that I am seeing group riders nearby on the right-hand side of the course today. I'm not sure if I did something correctly or not, but there is no placings in the game at this moment. So perhaps the KISS races did not get an update in order to show the placing. I'm wondering if there's something going on there, but we do see quite a large group here. It looks like about 20 plus riders or so that are hanging out at the front end of this race right now. Boniface is in there from Team TNODZ. Jason Bustalado riding unattached there. Innovation is showing up in force right along with TFC with the solo rider, I believe, which will be Burton, unless there is one other perhaps from TFC. I'm just seeing one yellow kit there, though, making their way backwards. Now looking through here, we are seeing one off the back here with Jay Abbott, actually. One of the female riders here hammering down right now. It looks like she is able to hang on with the front end of the A group with the boys. Good to see that. And she putting out a solid 3.9 watts per kilogram right now coming out of Poland. And as you can see, part of the Zwift Academy there. Let's go ahead and see what ZwiftPower.com has to say about some of the riders that have made this front group. I am watching the B category as they make their way into the square right now, getting our B category coverage to come into the broadcast is a whole nother story, though. We'll see if we can grab that as soon as possible for all of you and have the B set up. Let's go ahead and see if this might give us a little bit of nope, and no B setup for today. It looks like either. So we'll try and work on that. We do have obviously a whole lot of new awesomeness going on here with the recent brand relaunch or launch of the new brand. And so we have a couple of hiccups today, it looks like, but we will try and get over those and keep moving forward with the broadcast here today. So looking through, though, I'm looking to see what Abbott has done in the past here. And as far as the lead female rider out on course, Jay Abbott here, coming out of Poland right now, 3 seconds back at the initial, 4.9 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race when they were in 7:41 in. Joanna Abbott here, 4 races out on Zwift, 227 FTP. And we are seeing, was racing D, then C category, moved right on up into the B and A category pretty quickly, actually, it looks like. So good to see it. We are seeing Steven Ludendorff here coming out of Germany, riding for that KISS racing team, hammering up toward the front right now, leading things out. I think it's going to be somewhat of a chill race up until they hit Box Hill. We might see a couple of attacks going through through the classic here, maybe, but they do this classic course and then head on over toward the box hill and then head up, and that's going to be the main place, 6 to 7 minute effort. All the riders you're seeing out here are real riders, real efforts right now. Orgel here coming from Innovation, it looks like 172 beats per minute, so it isn't so chill right now at this point. Definitely a solid effort happening so far from the Innovation rider at 174. Jay Pitt there 173 as well. Bentley 168. Tardy, no heart rate for Jay Tardy there from the KRT racing team. I don't believe that is the usual from him though. Buslado here 147. Fairly calm at this point for Buslado there. Back there as well. Everyone stop at the top. What is, for some reason we can also see in-game chat right now that is not a part of the race, which is also interesting there. But we are seeing Carol here also 130 beats per minute. Nobody working, well, few working very hard, some not as much, which may be waiting for the attacks that are going to be coming here pretty quickly as soon as they hit the top of the climb. In the B category, I'm going to go ahead and go through who is at least over there hanging out amongst the riders. If I can bring in for you the race, I will do so as soon as possible, but I can definitely see up toward the front a solid group of about 30 riders or so. I am seeing Hessel there. Also, the Vikings team is in there as well. Fagerland coming out of Sweden. And then it is going to be Victoria out of Russia, actually. Jay Rich is in there from the KRT team. P Chunky as well. Quite a few riders, actually. Too many to name at this point. But as it starts to break up in the B race, we will definitely try and grab that for you as well. Looking through over at Z Community Live. Kim Little is saying, go Chris Meat Calves. Kim Little, is that somebody nearby to you? Thank goodness Beck is racing now instead of the Kiss America's PM. It is good to see Beck out there racing. I'm going to have to keep my eyes on him. I believe Endurance Mountain Biker coming out of southeast of the US of A. I believe near Mr. Frank the Tank, most likely. Betty's doubling up Frank for Box Hills is better than 2. And when I was racing full on training, getting ready for training, I definitely would try and grab at least 2 races a day is the way to go for sure. Brett Boniface here though. Speaking of 2 races a day, this guy's done 2 to 3, maybe even 4 some days in preparation for his seasons here. Now getting prepped up for the Zwift season, it seems like Brett Boniface putting on a solid 127 beats per minute. Super chill for him at this point. 2.7 watts per kilogram. Coming out of Canada here, representing the ODZ. Looks like he is not riding all alone, though. We do have D. Matthews here, also from ODZ. And then there is one other rider on the far right over there. Is that actually going to be... It looks like the avatar, perhaps, of Ganyan, like a canyon there, but I'm not sure if that is him. I'm going to keep on looking through here and see if I can find the avatar with the other ODZ name in there, but I'm not seeing another ODZ name in the list here, so we'll see if we can figure out who that other rider is as quickly as possible here for you. Looking over at the Twitch chat, I'm seeing Racing Mike. You mean the racers don't want to stop and regroup at the top of the escalator? Good to see you there, Racing Mike, over at the Twitch broadcast. Thanks a lot for joining us. And looking through up toward the top of the race here, I'm seeing there's going to be Meat Calves here. 152 beats per minute. And it's completely chill now at this point. And as we're waiting for the racers to come up on the top of the climb here, let's go ahead and see if we do have any of you taking advantage of the social media integrations out here on the broadcast. As I do bring it in here, it is at Z Community Live. At Z Community Live is how you do go ahead and throw a shout out. New overlay for hosting. How's it going there, BJ Alfonso? Thanks a lot for the shout out there. And it looks like it is functioning And we're going to get Inception here coming from Brolio Alfonso. Thanks a lot, Brolio Alfonso, for showing everybody how it's done. If you would like to interact with the broadcast today, it's at ZQME Live. Who do you think is going to win? What is going to be the outcome out here today? Also looks like we are not getting, there's a couple of things going on here, that's for sure, with the broadcast today. I'm going to need to, there we go. Let's go ahead and get some of that in-game sounds going on here. Definitely need that. So looking through here, I am also seeing a couple other comments coming over at Twitter, it looks like. With at ZQME, it'd be good if races that allow results to stand for people who exceed cat limits was somehow started before the ride. Robin Featherstone, thanks for the comment there. I appreciate it very much. I'm not sure that would be possible, as the riders. First of all, we are broadcasters, so we are not race organizers. Definitely have opinions about it, but definitely not ones who can make the rules around the races and how they function. But they take the category limits and whether or not they can be in that category based on that race in itself. And so you can't pull somebody out of the race prior to them actually doing the effort to see whether or not they can they are in or out of the category limits. It's a cool idea. The only way that we could do that is if we tracked everybody and then preemptively pulled them from the race. We are seeing Goran Merkea here. It looks like coming out of France. One of the riders that was at the CVR, looks like World Cup here. Gravdal's there from PTZ as well. Boniface following up very closely there. Szynski trying to go along with them. It is going to be Beck here from ODZ without ODZ in the name, actually. So it is going to be Chris Beck, actually. That was the one following that up from ODZ. We do have Gavin Richardson there trying to follow as well, coming from Innovation Seconds. 2 seconds off the back now, 168 beats per minute. Real deal race at this point now, boys and girls. 169. I don't believe he beats too much higher than this. Grand now coming out of France now, international field, and USA represented by back here. We've got Gravdal coming from Norway now. Szynski now out of Poland here, 5.3 watts per kilogram, 179 beats per minute there. Gravdal PTZ there, 171. It is going to be the Frenchman there, 442 watts here, up in that 169 beats per minute. 7.6 watts per kilogram though, coming from the man Brett Boniface here out of Canada for ODZ, currently sitting in first place out on course here. 101 RPMs though, absolutely demolishing himself to try and break this apart. Now kicking one more time though, it is going to be going on then the Frenchman there, 172 now coming around Boniface, opening up a little bit of a gap at 6.7 watts per kilogram. Going to be a difficult day for the rest of the riders, it looks like here, because of this Frenchman here now at 6.7 continually on the front end of the course here. I'm going to go ahead and open up zippower.com and see what is going on with some of the wattages here and whether or not we do have ZADA approvals around around some of the riders here in the. So if you head on over to zippower.com, if you have not done so already, you can actually see the live results as they take place there. 17:02 in the last time they went through the check on the Box Hill Red Roof Cottage. And from the zippower.com feed, you can actually see exactly what kind of wattages that these riders have put out for the duration of the race so far. I'm going to see if we can go ahead and bring in that desktop catcher for you so you guys can see exactly how this works. So zippower.com, here is the feed for that. And as they do make their way up and over the top, let's go ahead and see how things are going. Solid 5.0 here coming from Goran Merkea here. 7 races out on riding for Team Merkea. Antoine Goran out of France there, 313 estimated FTP. Best we've seen from him is a 4.8 watt per kilogram, I believe, maybe 544 here back on Europe. quite a ways back, though. It was back on December 6th, 2016. Last time he raced was on the 26th, actually, in the XRS DTR Tuesday night. Was not a participant, it looks like, in the CVR World Cup. Excuse me about that. But it is looking like the SCR Autumn Race Series here. Or it was a participant, excuse me, but that is not tracked over at ZwiftPower.com. So looking through here, we are they're coming from Goran. Boniface right along with him. The break has been made now at this point. 17 seconds now. We are seeing Strzezinski able to hang on to that pack now. Beck now going right on by as well. 6.3. 162 beats per minute. See Beck here coming out of the US of A. It is Chris Beck, the mountain biker. Zada approved 160 races out on Zwift. Looks like he's jumped back into the world of Zwift racing as of recently. Did the Pacific Crit race actually a few days ago. Took a second place. It looks like in that race, a solid 4.66 watts per kilogram here. Looking at like that second place was taken to a Chinese racing actor, actually, plus 1S. Not exactly sure on the name, but definitely needs some Zada approval. It looks like actually for that rider. So Chris Beck here, solid result for him there. Boniface though now with a counter attack up over the top of Box Hill. There's Beck now tries to follow there. Gron there and has well 318 watts there. No super response though. So it is going to be Beck and Boniface trying to get off the front. The two ODZ riders, watch out for them. It is going to be Strzezinski there following up Gron, but they are not able to close down at this point there. Gron now seeing the threat, jumping into 7 watts per kilogram. 544, absolutely insane. That's about 20 seconds faster than most of the climbs up onto the top of Box Hill lately. This is one of the fastest I've ever seen. The Zwift racing in full force right now as these riders are making their way up and over the top of the climb. And 544, boys and girls, these guys are absolutely killing it. Pedal Power Jersey saying the French, maybe. Motor doping, pedal power. There was that recent, controversy, wasn't there, in a Cat 3 race with somebody with their bike there over there in France. I remember reading all about that actually just recently from a post in the, I believe it was with Venting area. No, it was actually in our Discord. Somebody was linking about that. Good to see there, DP Arcade. And Racing Mike, I appreciate you as well. Thanks a lot for being here, and thanks for the happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nathan. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. And we're having a couple of struggles here on the broadcast, though, but it'll be all right. Here with Strzezinski now. There now 0 watts per kilogram. Getting into the Sagan Tuck now. 2 seconds back, it is going to be Gravdo right on Boniface and Goran. See Beck now unable to hang on to the pace. He went with the attack, but then fell off after the initial climb there. He was trying to launch perhaps Mr. Boniface there off the front now. And you do see Boniface in that tuck there, letting the heart rate drop down. 145 beats per minute now coming from him. Gravdo now 159. We are seeing Goran now calming it down. Strzezinski 172, still pretty high for the rider here. Now, let's go ahead and see if we can grab this. I really would like to get the other race here in for you boys and girls. For some reason, it's just not allowing it to be grabbed today. And we did do some new setup stuff, but it should just come right on through. I've not seen any reason whatsoever. We've started back up a couple of times now. We'll see if we can go ahead and grab it for you for the B category, because it definitely is starting to heat up in the B category. I am seeing the brakes starting to form as they make their way up and over the top of Box Hill right now. Actually have a flag, straight up flagged rider by Zwift in the game as well. We do have Anderson up toward the front from the Vikings team. Osted now out of Norway there in that pig kit, as well as B Stolk coming out of the Netherlands. The Dutchman following up very closely there. Anderson from the Vikings there as well, though, leading it out there. Solid 4.9 watts per kilogram as they attack up as they attack up over the box, over the top of Box Hill. Sorry about that. We're also getting a couple of interruptions there too, so lots of little issues here and there. So we'll go ahead and add a new input, and perhaps we'll be able to grab this Zwift for you. It looks like it is coming through now. Super awesome. I believe we are going to be able to bring you straight up B racing here, boys and girls. So as we look through, second Zwift, you're gonna work for me. And it looks like we do donut. It was working a second ago. Donuts, boys and girls, donuts. Not coming through just yet. And perhaps we'll get it eventually. One of these days we'll have B racing, and you guys will get coverage of it. It's showing as it's coming through, and then I go to put it into the broadcast. It's just not there. I don't understand what's happening here, guys. So now Straczynski's attacking, though, and I don't even understand this. 10 watts per kilogram now. The Polish man, 163 beats per minute, killing it on the Tron bike there. Nice orange wheels with the red and white kit. Boniface now following it up there with the feather power up, 4.2 watts per kilogram coming from him. Straczynski now 5.9, going on now 7.0 there. Back there trying to follow and get back on terms at a solid 29 seconds back here. As you can see here, 3 seconds is the difference between Beck and the Innovation Boys who are chasing him down. He's gonna have his work coming out for him, as these two are absolutely killing it right now. And looks like Beck may be caught by the Innovation train here. They may be able to work together then at that point. It is a full lap solo from Mr. Beck here. It's going to be a difficult day for him to hold down to that. Boniface now trying to attack off the front there, 168 beats per minute. Straczynski there coming around. Looks like they're going to stay together. Getting some chat here in the game right now. The game is acting a little bit funky after the update, as we are seeing we're seeing chat from outside the race, and we are not seeing the positions in the race either, which we are supposed to be seeing. So it's almost acting like this is not a group, perhaps, or an event, like more of a group event rather than a race, actually, the way that it is functioning right now. We'll have to see. Something went down with that. So crazy. Can't recall I have seen any faster box hill KOM. Yeah, Wallstrom, I'm with you there as well. I'm not sure I've ever seen a KOM on box hill that fast before either. Absolutely flying. All new Zwift updates, it looks super slick. Yeah, I'm with you there, DPRK. They look really good. There actually should be one of the updates that we should be having right now is a placing actually in the race, but it has gone back to just group riders nearby, which is interesting. But right here it should say what place the current rider that we are watching is in, but it looks like it's reverted to group ride mode here for this race. I have a feeling it might have something to do with the race, that the way that this race is organized, perhaps because of the fact that they start them in 3 different categories, perhaps. But I think I've seen that before anyways, at 3 different times with the with the placings though. So interesting to see that, but it does look really good. Super excited about the new update here with Zwift. Actually, lots of new stuff down the way. Group workout mode in beta right now. That's going to be super exciting to be using. We're going to give it a shot tomorrow with Greg Henderson, actually. So if you want to watch me suffer and be a part of that group workout, make sure to join that workout tomorrow. We're going to be throwing down with Mr. Greg Henderson himself here live on ZCL. All right, one more try here, boys and girls. Let's go ahead and try and grab that other race that's going on, which is the B category race. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here. And just so you know, it shows up, and this is what I'm getting. It looks like racing. Great Zwift racing there, doesn't it? So not sure what's going on there. That's nothing to do with Zwift, you guys. That's something on my end that I'm not understanding what is happening there. So some solid, everyone's gone to black It's been so ludicrous speed and everything has just gone to black. That is the current situation in the B category right now. Up toward the front, we do have the Bacon. The Beacon is racing. Tim Searle is actually out there. Good to see him from the HDR team, actually coming out of Australia. Up toward the front, and he's got these bright yellow Tron wheels that have caused everything to go to black out on the race today. So we'll grab the Bs as they do come in for the finish, though, in their race for sure. So looking through here, going to see if there's any comments coming through. And Blob is coming. What's going on with Blob? Beck and Ink will get caught. That pack behind them is bigger and will gain on them. The Blob is coming. Bob, you've been watching, Ian. So what's going on with the Blob? So this Blob comment coming through here, is that from the way that the dynamics of the pack work, I'm assuming, is what's going on with the Blob. And you might not know who's seen, raise your hand if you've seen the movie. Love to know if you know exactly what we're talking about there. But we are seeing up toward the front here, the front of this group, not going to be caught by the Blob, but here we do have Bucelato up toward the front of the race here, leading it out with MD from the BRT team. 143 beats per minute now, right along with Burton and Tardy. We are seeing Ludendorff and Carroll. Matthews there as well, and then more hanging out. Now this pack is definitely in more of a straight line echelon type way right now. As you can see here up toward the front of the KRT, they're definitely pushing the pace here. G Moore though, 149, Ludendorff 155. Maybe it's just the way that the pack was behaving at the moment there. But as we do see a 170 beats per minute, Bucelato here, JP there at 154, Mikovs there 157 there, Burton up toward the front 175, trying to lead these boys out, but now with a gap actually, and almost working against himself with that gap at 179 beats per minute, because he's not going to be going much anywhere. They're 4.4 watts per kilogram coming from MJP right now. MD from the BRT team, 4.0 watts per kilogram, trying to chase that down. So and I know it does say in the titles here that we are with Ian Anderson doing the KISS racing KISS race as well. Not exactly sure why it says that either. So we've got all kinds of issues going on here. I'm gonna have to have a little chat. I believe there's good reason for it though, boys and girls. Good reason for it, and definitely more important things to attend to in some places right now. So just a heads up, thoughts and stuff out to Mr. Johnny, and everything will be okay. I believe everything's good, but MD here from the BRT, just keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you do pray with the fam over there. I believe everything's good. It's not super serious that I know of just of yet, but those of you who do know Johnny and do know the background behind ZCL, just make sure to have them in your thoughts. Metcalf here now, 4.4 watts per kilogram, right along with Bucelato here, chasing this down. This is the chase group right now. Richardson now right along with Beck and Fawn now chasing that down, 445 watts right now. And it looks like the Innovation boys were able to catch up to Beck. It is 47 seconds though up to these boys. Gravdell from PTZ now kicking it off, 5.7 watts per kilogram off the front, just a little bit now. And looking through here, we are seeing Casey Shum saying, you can't break away from the Blob. Washington says, laugh out loud, epic. So, I don't know. I mean, these boys broke away from the Blob. Now, a single individual can't get away from the Blob, though. Almost impossible. Actually, well, we did see Tim Cartwright break away quite a lot, actually. I do believe that he was able to do so yesterday even. Actually, I believe he did do a race yesterday that was looking at Tim Cartwright, man. That boy can just break away from just about anybody. Good to see you there, Dafford Williams, hanging out over at the Mixer channel. Thanks a lot for tuning in. It does look like it is going to be 4 off the front, though, still. ODZ represented, right along with Team Poland. Norway with PTZ. And then Vision Cycling with Mr. Goran here. Antoine hammering away. Then the chase group is going to be containing Gavin Richardson from Innovation there, as well as Phone also coming from Innovation. They're back there as well. Now, what's going on with Phone and Gavin as of recently? Looking through the results right now, I am seeing in the this chase group these two riders. No, I'm not seeing any information with the update though from Zwift Power just yet right now from it. So that's interesting. But we are seeing back here Richardson and Phone. Phone coming over Switzerland now. And it looks like 19 races out on Zwift. Actually, we have taken a look at him. Steiner Colnego is who he is riding for in real life. 19 races out on Zwift, but it looks like unable to hang on with the front runners here in this race today. A third in the Project Racing Series, actually. And then back on the 26th of September, he took a first, actually. But the PRS race on the 30th, just a few days ago, solid result for him. In that race, it was... looks like Brett Boniface actually taking the win, followed by Jonas Eriksson, and then it was Peter Fawn just a little ways back. Boniface, though, broke away and demolished, it looks like, the field out on the Volcano Crit course there with a solid 40 seconds over the rest of the pack, though. So solid effort there from him. Looking through for Gavin now. Richardson, the man from Innovation. Looks like 150 races out on Zwift, actually 371 FTP it looks like, and it took a WBR second place and a win on the same day, it looks like, on the 30th actually, and that was the last time he raced. But Kiss Europe, it looks like all top 5s or top 10s as of recently in the last week to week and a half. So maybe looking to better that. Maybe not going to happen, though. With only 39 seconds, though, these boys are going to have to start paying attention. Beck is actually working with these boys a little bit, it looks like. And they are starting to bring back in Szerzynski, Gravdo, as well as Goran and Boniface there with the 5. I mean, they did open over the top there of Box Hill. We can't see it right now, but they did a solid 544, 542 over the top of Box Hill. So it's going to be very difficult to catch back up to these boys and then able to attack them if they have the similar kind of effort. And I mean, even if they do catch back up at this point, the riders will most likely have plenty left in the tank to try and get away again. Although if they burn too many matches, there may be 1 or 2 riders that are a part of this front group that are unable to stay with it. But they are seeing an attack there from Szerzynski up in the 10-12 watts per kilogram. Now Boniface countering there, actually, knowing that a few may be up and over the top of the effort that they can hold. Goran now trying to go right along with them there. Antoine, is he going to be able to hang on? Szerzynski may be putting the nails in his own coffin there. 5.8 watts per kilogram there. 2 seconds back there. Gravdo, 7.7 watts per kilogram. Able to hang on just barely to Boniface's wheel. He was actually just going for the sprint, perhaps, as he backs it off to 233 watts. Interesting. They're using the sprint section in order to cause a break. New PRs all around there on the reverse. You are seeing it was a solid 14-16 there coming from the rider from Vision Cycling there, Antoine. Boniface are 14:32. Gravdo 14:35. We are seeing it is a little ways back there for the Polish rider. They're 2 seconds still, and that is the difference that was out on the sprint as well at a 16:62 actually. The Innovation rider here now just coming into this section of the course as well. 46 seconds. We are seeing a little bit slower, I believe, from them on this section of course. It is back out to 48 seconds or so immediately. So not going to be catching back up to these riders. Now, this is that huge group we were talking about earlier with Buchlato, Tardy, as well as MD, MJP, Mikovs, and Burton. Lundorf 20 seconds back as well, and they're trying to make a chase, but it doesn't look like that's going to be closing down anytime soon unless Ludendorff has a few to work with there. Pelosi sitting in and out of Italy. Only 20 seconds up. They may be able to catch that group and work to grab a whole lot of spaces. And I believe this group is going to, if not come back together, it is most definitely going to have stragglers from the front end of it that may be caught from the stronger ones that have reserved a little bit in the legs before the next time up on the top of Box Hill. Up toward the front now, though, we are seeing it is going to be Innovation now leading out again with Beck sitting in. Gravdo now 8.2 watts per kilogram, trying to hang on to the attack of Straczynski. Boniface is going again, over and over again. This is the way that you do it if you want to get away from the blob. And I think the problem a lot of times is that people don't attack the way that you need to get away from a group. A lot of times people put in out on Zwift a single attack, it fails. They put all their chips into that single attack, that's all they have, and then they cannot get away. The way that you break things apart out on Zwift, unless it's like a really big group. If it's a really big group and there's a lot of matches to burn in the group, one individual cannot do it. But we got one or two, maybe even three individuals from a team that continue to just bounce off the front, one after another, one after another, one after another, boom, 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 boom. Eventually, the heart rates of the other riders will get so high that they cannot follow any longer. And if you are the stronger rider, it is possible to attack over and over and over again and drive their heart rates so high that they just are unable to follow. What you need to do is find that sweet spot of attacking where you can do it repeatedly and repeatedly. And if they are not, as you can see here, Boniface is doing it right now. He's kicking into 8 watts per kilogram, 11 watts per kilogram, getting a little bit of a gap over and over again and forcing the other riders to put out a similar effort over and over again. Now, the only thing is there are riders sitting in on a downhill here and that are maybe not going to have to put out the same effort there that Mr. Boniface is. Now, Gravdo, though, see, now he has to put out 8 watts per kilogram there to close it down. Now, that was a downhill, not the greatest example of what we were talking about here, but I have done it before in a KISS 100 race. It is possible to break it apart. It's more difficult right now, it seems like, than it has been in the past, but it is possible to make it happen. We've seen it from the likes of Kim Cartwright, we've seen it from Kim Little, I believe, and a few others. Just like the blob will stick to the puny breakaway attempt in is insane. You see that the RPM bleed in some riders HR. You can do better on Zwift. Wallstrom is saying. I'm not exactly what we're talking about there, but thanks a lot for the comment there. How the hell do these guys hit 500 watts? Pleb Dan is asking. Are these racers pro? Not all of them, but some of them do race at a professional level, and some of them do race at Cat 1-2 level. And we are seeing another question coming through here. I've only got a compact chain set. I can't even hit it. Pleb damage saying 1125 cassette, but the chain set is letting me down, I think. I believe it sounds like, what kind of power source do you have? Because the power source may be the issue there, Pleb Dan. It sounds like if you can't hit 500 watts on an 1125. So let us know. I'll try and help you out as much as we can as we head into the uphill on the course here. Gravdo heel now leading things out. 142 beats per minute, 3.5 watts per kilogram. As you can see here, Boniface now 2.9. We're seeing 155 beats per minute. Straczynski there as well, 165. 129 back is going to be the Innovation boys, right along with Beck and Phone. And then 52 seconds back is going to be the Bushalato group as well. Looking through here, let's go ahead and see if we've got any more chat coming through on Twitter. Not anything just yet, but if you would like to ask any questions or get a pick involved into the broadcast over at Twitter, you can do so by tweeting at ZCommunityLive. You can find us over on Twitter. It's also linked at ZwiftCommunityLive.com, ZwiftCommunityLive.com. Looking through here now, we are seeing now it is going to be an attack here from Gravdo here. 9.0 watts per kilogram, 149 beats per minute coming from him. Straczynski 2 seconds back actually. Boniface they're trying to follow it up 6.1, 141 beats per minute. So it is going to be Antoine there right along with it at the back of this group. But Gravdo off the front by 3 seconds. They got to follow up right now as we are seeing 11 watts per kilogram here coming from Antoine there. Boniface now 8.7 here, following very closely, able to go right along with Gravdo. Only 152, 153, a little bit of attack, not too high heart rate just yet. Now, Straczynski here on the back foot was probably paying for those attacks through the classic course, loading the legs up with a little bit too much lactate, or as Greg Henderson would say, too much Larry on the legs here. We'll see if he can close it back down here. 6.9 watts per kilogram, though, coming from the man Straczynski here. Almost back on turns, but it is going to be a continuance at the front there from Antoine, right along with Boniface, 8.1. Still able to close it down. Gravdo now saying that's enough of that, and going backwards to Straczynski. They're going to work together, hold on to that third place, and battle it out to the line. Now we are seeing 7.3 continually here from the man at the front. Boniface put a 542 to the top of this climb last time after he closed it down to the attack of Mr. Antoine there. Now we are seeing it again there. Boniface there, 544 from Antoine. Beck, 544. Straczynski, 544. But it looks like these two not going to have a similar type climb one time at that kind of a pace for them. Can the repeat come from Boniface and Antoine as they make their way up and over the top here? And so now through the climb, it is going to be Innovation starting up their climb. Beck hanging on. The ODZ boy here, 5.9 watts per kilogram, waiting for his moment. Maybe close it down and grab third place still. If he can close down a solid 48 seconds to Gravdo and Straczynski over this climb. It'd be a big day to do so, but 5.8 watts per kilogram steady here. We know that Beck can climb. He went right along with them and pulled that 544 last lap. Just wasn't able to hang on up and over the top. Maybe in full-on blow-up mode and unable to do so. Too many matches burned in order to close that back down. We'll have to see. The Garmin Vector pedals look all right. Plebdam is saying, I think, Craig, especially since I ride Speedplay pedals and they don't take a PM in that style pedal. Interesting there. Racing Mike, you guys talking about getting power meters? We're looking through here and he's saying I haven't got a power meter. Plebdan is saying, so yeah, that would definitely explain it. Plebdam, as to why you are unable to hit the wattages, especially on the traditional trainers. We're not going to be too offensive to the trainers, but on the traditional or dumb trainers, they with a speed sensor, if you're on Z power, I believe you get maxed out at a certain amount of wattage. So if you want super accurate wattages, you're definitely going to want to grab a smart trainer or power meter. The most accurate will almost always be a power meter source, a strain gauge power meter source. Not always, but almost always. The most accurate sources in general will be a strain gauge power meter. Smart trainers then come in a close second place for those results on the power, actually. Now we are seeing Antoine continually going off the front here, still putting out 7 watts per kilogram. Boniface trying to close it down here. 171 coming from him. I believe that Boniface, did he already race once today, though? Let's go ahead and look through here and see if Mr. Brett Boniface has already had one down today. We did see a double up from somebody else, and it is going to be, nope, 2 days ago, did the KISS Sunday Europe race and took a win in it, actually. Nice job to him in that race. Antoine here, his recent races, I'm looking through for what they might be. And it was that XRS race, actually, back on the 26th. Over 5 watts per kilogram, though, in that race. And it looks like may have gotten gotten an over 5 watt per kilogram Zada DQ at 5.05 5 watts per kilogram there. So looking through, it was 40 who took the W because of it. 104.59. He actually lost the 40 though, so 40 still took the W there at a 4.87 watts per kilogram. Not all about the ratio, boys and girls. All about the dynamic power for winning races out there. And so we are seeing James Hodges saying my only sub 6 minute climb on Box Hill was at 66 RPM average. And same bug with font in mobile iOS app. I noticed that too, Wallstrom. What's going on here? So you guys have a little, Nathan, look at the blue power display in the left top corner. RPM over laps. the BPM in some cases. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. I did notice that right when it launched, they'll probably have some fixes on their way. Whenever there's a patch in the game, you always have some fixes that come back out after the patch. Antoine now with the attack. Boniface with the counter, though. 10 watts per kilogram. This is for the W here, boys and girls. Uses the feather power up, throws down into the 10 watts per kilogram, actually. And the ODZ rider playing it so smart. Waits for the last little moment over the top here and make sure it's pure power coming from the legs. Maybe not looking for the uphill grind to be so much of a factor in this attack here. Boniface now with 7 seconds. 7 seconds is a serious gap, actually, between two riders. If it was a group that was chasing down Boniface, I'd say no way. But with mano a mano, rider versus rider at this point, going into the final stretch, he's only got about 5 to 7 minutes or so left of racing. He's got to put everything he's got into the race right now. Actually, Boniface gonna be, well, maybe about 7 minutes. 7 minutes, I'd say, to the finish line now. Brett Boniface off the front. ODZ, Antoine, for Vision, unable to close it down. Now kicking again. 8 watts per kilogram, 9 watts per kilogram, 177 beats per minute. The RPMs are flying right now, but I'm not sure it's going to see the front again as Boniface is still gone now. It looks like, looking over his shoulder, there is Antoine in the background. Gravdon now trying to chase it down with Straczynski. Will it be too much there for Antoine even to hold off? The Chasers now is second place still in the mix right now for those two for the chase right now. Boniface now 7.0 watts per kilogram off the front there. The ODZ man making it happen here. Back there as well from Innovation, but they're gone and off the back looking for 5th place is what they're going to be battling out for today. Straczynski there with Gravdon now. These two thinking about that bronze plated medal now. So we are seeing Gravdon chase it down. It's going to be the battle for 3rd. We're watching Gravdon now trying to come around for a moment there. Norway rider for PTZ on that blue Tron bike. Not going anywhere just yet. Straczynski going to sit in 4.89 watts per kilogram with this in Gamba kit coming out of Poland. Super International field today. As you can see, as usual, Canada, France, as well as Norway, Poland, all represented. Switzerland there with Fawn. Back there coming out of the US of A. Metcalf as well out of the UK. MJP there out of the UK. Bucciolato here out of Michigan, actually, over in the US of A. MD here as well. Ludendorff there with the flying the German flag there, as well as Pelosi there out of Italy. Australia represented with, it looks like, D. Matthews from Team ODZ trying to chase down Davis and Pelosi as well as they make their way up and over the top of the climb. Davis there from the WBR team, actually. First spot of them out on course. It's Dr. Mutt. How's it going? Good to see you over at the broadcast on Mixer. And looking through here, good to see a lot of chat going on over at the Twitch channel. If you'd like to grab my attention with that chat because it's starting to flow a little bit, make sure to at Nathan Guerra, and I'll be able to see the little black there for that, so that we can make sure to catch up to any of the comments that might be wanting to point at us. If you would like to get attention in the broadcast as well, you can do so by tweeting at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live. Pics, comments, or whatever you'd like to bring on through that is relevant to the racing or Zwift, or questions, we'll be able to highlight them in the broadcast for you here. Boniface now 4.6 watts per kilogram going off the front here, as you can see. And it looks like with 30 seconds, he may not be caught. It's still up for grabs, though. Solid. I mean, if there's nothing left in the legs and Boniface climbs out here, and you can see Boniface still has 8 watts per kilogram to get. He's going to demolish himself up and over the top of this little climb here. 7.98 watts per kilogram, almost 99 now. 594 watts, going up into 700 watts up over the top there. 18 miles per hour over the top now. Antoine What can he pull off here? He'd have to put out like 12 to 15 even to come close to matching the effort there, Boniface. And you actually see how big the gap is here. Here's the little red circle. He's already around the corner, entering the bridge there. 25 seconds is the gap. Not going to be seen again. Up in the 10 watts per kilogram. Solid effort there coming from Antoine. But the 30-second gap is going to consistently be opened here. And now we are seeing a lot of chat there about having to get the pleb Dan chatting a whole bunch about what a great workout it sounds like he's getting out on Zwift here. So good to hear and good to see. Looking through here, I am seeing it is going to be then Mr. Antoine now, right along with Boniface now, making his way to the line. Gravdell now about 40 seconds back with Szerzynski. Going to be battling it out for third place now. 6.9 watts per kilogram coming from Brett Boniface now. And will he be able to hang on, it looks like? And it looks like 773 beats per minute. It's just survival mode at this point. And back off, chill to the line, make sure he puts out enough wattage. Hold on to the result there. Now kicking again into 4.3 watts per kilogram. 172 beats per minute now. In the B category, we're going to head on over there and see what's happening, as I believe we have B Stolk now making his way up over the top of Box Hill. Followed up by Jehu, and then Bacon, the Bacon, Tim Searle, is also in there from the HDR ride. One of the most popular rides out on Zwift. MR there as well, right along with Team BCG. R Woo now trying to chase them down. So the breaks are taking place right now in the B category. We'll see if we can bring those in. How annoying is global chat in the event? It's super annoying, and I'm not sure exactly why it's there. Actually, Daffy Williams, but I'm right with you there, buddy. What is that doing here? I'm not exactly sure, but definitely not super welcome at this point now. So looking through here, I wonder if this is the reason why we're not getting the getting Zwift to come on through for you guys in the D category. Brett Boniface with the W, just coming across the line. Nice job to Brett. We got Antoine coming in for second place. Now the sprint though for Szerzynski, and it looks like Szerzynski is going to be getting a gap over Gravdell here. This is the sprint actually across the line there. Nice job to Brett Boniface. Great finish there to him for first place. Looks like Gravdell there now following it up. Going to be taking fourth. We'll go ahead and give them both ride-ons there as they make their way across the line now. Looking through, we are seeing it looks like in the D category, M. Cole starting up his second lap. Fondau here, 2 seconds out the front from Beck. Is he going to be able to hold off Chris Beck? Now Innovation now starting to ramp it up there with Gavin Richardson. 15 meters is the gap there. Does Beck have anything more to give? Doesn't look like it's going to be happening, as the Swiss man has 7.8 across the line. No hurry monitor though, so maybe unable to take the result there. Gavin Richardson next one across the line, followed by Mr. Chris Beck. Solid result by him. Metcalf there as well with Tardy making his way to the line. 4.2 watts per kilogram, 165 beats per minute right now. Then it will be MJP now holding off Ludendorff and getting away from these boys actually out of the underground. 6 seconds. He's going to be able to hold on to it. We're going to have another sprint up ahead though with Tardy here. 318 watts or so. Metcalf's now going 750 watts from him. And will he be able to hold on to this kind of effort to the line there? 172 beats per minute. He's got a gap over Tardy right now, we're seeing. And it looks like with 2 seconds, he's going to be able to do it. And Tardy, going to be Tardy to the line as Metcalf is going to take the win in this sprint, at least. In a top 10 result, I believe, in the A category today. But the question is whether or not MJP, after he's gone off the front, up over the top of the climb, out of the underground, will he be able to hold on to the gap though to MD and Ludendorff. Not sure it's going to be able to make it happen here. Ludendorff now 5.4 watts per kilogram. MD, there's 6.37 watts per kilogram there. Buccellato following it up. Here comes the arrow power up from Buccellato here. Now killing it. 10 watts per kilogram. Going to come flying right on by. But MJP going to be able to hold them off perhaps. 11 watts per kilogram though. The gap is closing quickly. 15 meters, 14 meters, 10, 9. Absolutely flying. Buccellato. Perfectly timed arrow power up. Takes the sprint. MG next, followed by MD. And then Ludendorff. Carroll now right along with Davis here with the sprint for the WBR team actually. 12 watts per kilogram with that arrow power up. Such a strong in-game RNG actually, and there he goes with the W as he throws down Mario Kart style with the red shell. Now ODZ across the line with Matthews. Nice job to him, followed by Pelosi right behind. So looking through here, let's go ahead and see what's happening with this B category. I may be able to bring it in now, I believe, as we changed some things up, and there it is. I can see it in the feed, and it's still not being awesome. So no awesomeness coming from the B category feed just yet. We'll keep working on it here, boys and girls, but we may have to just call it a day with the A's here today. Global chat is nice. Can you ask people not to interfere? Because you can. That's really funny, Brett, actually. Can you ask people not to interfere? So let's see here. Pleb Dan. It's good to have you here at the broadcast here, buddy. We're going to have to enact the bot for Pleb Dan, but, but thanks a lot for joining in. We appreciate you very much. All right. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I believe we have to get going here soon enough because it's not going to be getting anything from the other categories right now. Sorry, you guys. We had a couple of hiccups in the broadcast today. I wanted to cover everybody's race. We couldn't get live over at Facebook. We couldn't get live. We are currently supposedly broadcasting Ian Anderson's race. Lots of stuff going on here. But it looks like can be right along with I Woodcock. And then it will be Gunhaga. They're out of Sweden at 180 beats per minute. For the women's side of things, Jay Abbott, nice job to her. Across the line here out of Poland. And first woman across the line for the Zwift Academy. Solid result. All right, guys. All right, boys and girls, that's going to be it for me. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got a lot going on tomorrow, actually. We maybe doing a pilot for the web show, actually, early tomorrow morning for me. We've got the Greg Henderson group ride. We've got the SCR race as well. So 3 broadcasts at least tomorrow. So gonna be a pretty big day. I'm gonna try and go find some sleep actually to get ready for all that, I believe. But TFC here with Mr. Burton there. Good to see him crossing the line here pretty quick here. And suddenly we find ourselves over there. And then Jay Abbott followed by Orgel. Will Orgel be able to grab on the wheel here of Jay Abbott? But it looks like Abbott's going to be getting away from him. And the Polish rider here, 178 beats per minute, solid result from here, is part of the Zwift Academy. My question is, which is not a question you're supposed to ask usually, but let's see here. Joanna Abbott Polska here. Solid ride. And I'm wondering, part of the Zwift Academy, if this is going to be one of the finalists here. I mean, this is a solid effort here. Up in the, let's go ahead and see here. 4.2 watts per kilogram for her for a duration of 20 minutes throughout the race. So solid result all around. Looking for last few comments from the racers or riders or the viewers, and then we're going to get out of here. And any idea what time it's going to be? Pleb Dan is saying. For the event, it will be listed in for the group workout event. It'll be listed in It'll be listed as an actual event in Zwift. If we use the group workout, we should be. The usual times, guys, noon, SCR race, and then we have 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, Greg Henderson ride. So that has been the usual times that we have always been casting those things. So I don't have control over that it not showing up right now. We'll see what we can make happen. So, all right, boys and girls, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow for a whole lot of broadcasting. Thanks for watching, and ride on to all of the riders. Great job to the racers. Sorry about the hiccups today. I wish we could have covered the B and C and D category. And I also apologize that we were unable to go live over on the Facebooks. There were a couple of issues in the background. So we will be back tomorrow with usual broadcast. We'll get all the hiccups out of the way. A lot of new updates that came through with all of the new brand and everything. And a couple of hiccups there, but we were able to get your race out there, at least for the A category. And great job, the racers. And as always, ride on.